and my father, at the age of 16, he fibbed about his age and went to join his brothers in the East Sussex Regiment, and they were off to France fighting, which was absolutely horrendous. Two of them were in the same area at the time. One was coming back from the front, and the other one was going into the front, and they crossed lines and shook hands, and that was the last that the brother saw of the brother that did not come back. And that was a very terribly sad time. And excuse me if my voice is wobbly. I find it very upsetting to think of them. But on a brighter note, my father survived, and so did his elder brother. And I'm sorry that I didn't know the one that died. That was so sad. But a letter was written, which was quite beautiful. It described the battle. It was written in the most beautiful handwriting, and it was about Ralph, who went behind enemy lines, literally dragging wires with him to find out exactly where the enemy were, where the Germans were sitting, and he could telephone back to let them know from what part they might be attacked. So, and for that brave thing that he did, he was awarded a medal. This beautifully written and described letter is unbelievably 100 years old, and I'm be so pleased that my grandson, my father's great-grandson, will read it, and which will explain how lovely it is to have it now after 100 years. And I'm pleased that my grandson will read it.
A few notes by Gunner Jarman, 1st Division, who has been in the fighting since August 1914. 9th of May 1915. Attack by British troops. At about 5 a.m. on Sunday 9th of May, a terrific bombardment was opened on our front in which the 2nd Infantry were to assault somewhere about 8 a.m, a little before the time arranged for their charge. The Sussex and North Hampshire jumped over the parapet, in hope of taking the German first-line trench, but they did not get very far as they were being mowed down like pulp by the enemy machine guns. Seeing it as a failure, the 2nd Battalion was relieved by the 1st Battalion, and it was decided to open with another bombardment in the afternoon. This started about 3:30 p.m, and a charge was made by the Black Watch. What a night. With the Piper leading, a young lad about 18 years old. They had about 400 yards of open ground to cross, and halfway over, the Piper was shot down and laid in his back with his legs in air, still playing them on. But very few got to the trenches, all safe. 3 of the signallers and myself were in our first-line trench for the purpose of establishing communications, being determined to get through this part of the line. The 1st Battalion was relieved by the 6th for the purpose of another assault. Our artillery were continually bombarding the German trenches in different places for about a week. On the night of the 17th of May, the Buckinghamshire in our immediate front took the first line without the aid of artillery, but were held up in one corner by a machine gun battery. This was soon put out of action by our artillery, thus enabling our infantry to take the whole line, and there were batches of enemy giving themselves up as prisoners. Shortly after this, a signaller and myself went with an officer to our trench. We ran a line to the captured trench, but we established telephonic communication, and this enabled the battery to fire, catching some of the enemy in the open. What a chance they had. We returned all safe in the evening to a battery.
Albert William Jarman was buried and died on the 30th of June 1916, which he died in that battle. And I have pictures of the cemetery, and it is so immaculate. And to think that his name is there is a great comfort.